this episode, Magdalena Świtajska, advocate, partner at Wardyński & Partners Employment and Global Mobility Practice, with 14 years experience in employment and immigration law, will explain how foreign firms may directly employ workers in Poland. Later, we'll hear an update on the Polish economy.
We are making this program for foreigners acting as board members in Polish companies, foreign investors in Poland, and their foreign advisors. A shortage of skilled workers and the increasing competition for talent are prompting employers to search for new staff way beyond their national labor markets. Not all employers, however, are willing to deal with the hurdles of immigration procedures which are usually required before hiring an expat in their country. Maybe even more importantly, not all prospective staff are willing to take the trouble to relocate and live the life of an expat away from their families and their usual lifestyles. Employers that do not need employees to be physically present in the country of their business have a potential solution available. This involves so-called employment without an establishment, combined with fully remote working. Not all countries allow employment without an establishment within the territory, but Poland does. This means that you do not need to set up a company, branch, or any other entity to enter into a contract with a new employee residing in Poland. The law also does not require any intermediary, such as a work agency or an employer of record. You may hire staff directly through your foreign business. Significantly, this arrangement applies not only to Polish citizens, but also to third country nationals, provided that they are legally residing in Poland. Although Polish law does not regulate this directly, interpretations issued by Polish authorities confirm that foreigners do not need work permits in order to work remotely and exclusively for employers located outside Poland. Hiring a Polish or foreign national residing in Poland through a foreign business will, however, entail several requirements under Polish employment and tax law. The employment contract and the entire legal relationship with your prospective hire will be subject mostly to Polish law, even if you explicitly choose the law of another country in the contract. This is due to EU regulations, which always require the mandatory standards of the law of the country in which the work is performed, here the laws of Poland, to apply if they are more favorable than those of the country of choice. Since most of standards of Polish law are mandatory, as the employer you will need to comply with them as minimum terms, including minimum wage, working time limits, employee leave entitlements, and others. On top of this, the employment contract, if entered into with a Polish national, must be in Polish as the prevailing language version. Certain other matters will also need to be covered in your contract with the employee in order to properly secure your interests as the employer. These include ensuring the proper transfer of the outcome of the work and any intellectual property rights, allowing transfers of personal data, ensuring confidentiality of information, and protecting you against any competing activity. In most cases involving employment without an establishment, it will be necessary to make an assessment of the tax risk of a permanent establishment arising. However, at the same time, in an arrangement of employment without an establishment, you will not need to register as the employer with the Polish tax or social security authorities. In a situation of employment without an establishment, the employee is solely responsible for paying the taxes, while the duty to calculate and pay social security contributions, despite it primarily rests with the employer, may be transferred to the employee by way of an agreement. It is not particularly difficult to meet the requirements of Polish law when hiring people in Poland. Many foreign employers do use this option. If, however, this is to be your first ever encounter with Polish law and you feel that it may be overwhelming, you may want to see the alternatives. If the prospective hire is going to enjoy independence in terms of establishing the schedule of work and how the work is done, a civil law arrangement may be suitable. For example, you may consider hiring that person under a civil law contract instead of an employment contract. The main and significant difference would then be that the arrangement would not come under the rule of Polish employment law. Moreover, if the contract that you sign is a B2B contract or an independent contractor agreement, under which the person acts as a sole trader registered in Poland, that individual, and not you, would then be solely responsible for paying the social security contributions due in Poland with no need for any agreement about this. If you would like to find out more on the types of contracts available under Polish law and how to safely use civil law contract alternatives, watch episode 15 of the News from Poland Business and Law, which focuses on them. That's it from me. I hope that you find your best hire, maybe even here in Poland.
We have a new record in the export of business services. Latest data shows that last year, foreign sales of Poland's business services reached nearly $37 billion. Polish IT companies are making an increasing contribution to these exports. This is an effect of the inflow of new investments, particularly after the withdrawal of orders from Russia and Belarus, an increasing level of complexity and the associated rise in fees for such services, a favorable relationship between quality and price, and Poland's attractive geographic location, near to clients in Western Europe, while still within the same or neighboring time zone. In addition, we are seeing a repetition of the situation in 2009-2011, when in pursuit of savings, many Western firms outsourced their services to Poland. Thanks for watching this episode. See you soon.